Hey everyone, Stacks here, checking out Fallen Angels #2. Bryan Hill's the writer, Szymon Kudranski as the artist, and then the cover artist is Ashley Witter. And I have to mention the cover artist. And my question, I guess, is do you see it? Do you see it yet? Because IVT Vinny pointed out to me. Because honestly, my eyes didn't process it right away. But then I looked closer and check this out. How is he holding this thing? How are you going to shoot across your body like that? What in the world is going on here? And why didn't an edit, this is on the cover, why didn't an editor catch this? This is all kinds of ganked up, but I won't prolong the agony on that. Jumping into the book, the book starts with this guy who is trying to get back in, or he's trying to get out of somewhere. It says get out of the West. Both Europe and Asia aren't safe, so is he trying to get to the United States? I don't know. But he's trying to leave the city, prefers somewhere colder, and she verifies, this operative, that he doesn't have any contacts or any links back to Japan. And if he does, he has to burn them. He says he does not. He says he's all alone, and she reaches out, takes his glass from him, and tells him to close his eyes. He's obviously starting to pass out, or he's had too much to drink, or more likely than not, she's drugged him. So once that happens, she whips out the blade, executes him, and then two goons come running in to save the guy, and she takes them out as well. And all this comes with a monologue saying that people like us are never free, not until we die. We serve the clan, it is our will, by sacrifice we rise, we want nothing, for we are nothing. And when we forget that, when we allow ourselves to desire, we fail. From there, we jump to a conversation between Psylocke and X23, where Psylocke is talking to her, and X23 mentions the rage that she feels inside of her, and how when she touched minds with Psylocke back in issue 1, that she could see and feel that rage inside of Psylocke. So because she knows it's not just in her, she's asking Psylocke to help her with it and to be able to control it. Can you teach me to know how to harness it and control it? And Psylocke says, I can make you a master of it, but every master is a slave. And X23 is just like, I don't know what that means. Seriously, what does that mean? But Quanon has to split because she's got to go talk to young Cable, who once again is hanging out by the bonfire. I don't know where they're getting all this wood on Krakoa. It seems like Krakoa, with all its living vines and everything, might get a little bit upset about that, but apparently not so far. The conversation with Cable is pretty interesting, though, because Quanon says, look, you're always by this party, but you're never part of the party. And he basically says, look, I'm convinced that at some point it will seep into me, that it will affect me, and I'll be able to feel what they feel. But right now, I don't. But then he tells Psylocke, I found something. And what he's found is some kind of camp. It's an Overclocker Cartel that's run by these crazy War of the World robot things. And the people that are there are slave labor, essentially. They are forced to work. There's children there because they have the smallest fingers, and they're the ones that can do the detail work of this overclock apparatus or device that can attach to your head and make you basically trip out. Anyways, we find out that Cable had a contact in that village, and that contact is now dead. Well, Cable's like, look, we have to go save these people. And Quanon's basically like, no, we're not. Anything we go to do is going to be to go after Apothe. That's what we're doing. That's our focus. And Cable's like, no, these people are suffering and we can help them and we need to help them. And when she says, but we won't, he turns around, walks off, and says, then I'll go alone. You can stay here and dance. From there, we jump back to Japan, where there's a car chase. This Volkswagen Bug in Japan gets shot up by some individuals on a motorcycle, crashes into a telephone pole, and right as these motorcyclists are going to come out and take out this individual in the car, suddenly old girl with the blade from the opening scene is back, and she is absolutely eliminating them, no problem. She reaches down, she assists this doctor up and gets her out of the car and basically gives her a means of escape, because these assassins aren't going to stop. They're going to kill her. She goes so far as to give her a bunch of bank accounts on a USB drive, and this doctor turns around and asks her, why are you helping me? And she says, because when I reached inside your husband's mind, I felt how much he loved you. But on the next page, you find out that the cartel, or this gang, the clan, they found her. They tortured her, they killed her, and they killed the child that she was carrying. And even though she was tortured, this woman never told her, never told the clan about her, the one who assisted. From there, we jump to Bar Sinister, where Psylocke is there, and she is explaining the significance of the butterfly and why the butterfly was not just important to Betsy Braddock, but it was also important to her, and why she believes that it may have been, and why she hated the fact that it may have been fate that put them together. All that being said, basically Sinister lets her know that, look, you satisfy my indulgences. You consider me an ally. Because I find you entertaining, I will accommodate your request to leave the island. And with that, the team is her, Psylocke that is, Young Cable, and X23. They're all at this camp, and it's dead silent. It's in Brazil, so they can smell blood and metal, at least X23 can, and they're scanning, they don't see anything, and then suddenly they're under attack. Cable's thrown off because he doesn't understand why he didn't see this thing prior, and it rises out of the ground, and he opens fire on it, and this thing is absolutely massive. And that's it. So we get to find out in issue 3 what ambush they just walked themselves into. Now, as you guys know, I try to stay pretty positive on the channel, but I do have to kind of bash on Fallen Angels on this one, because I feel like the art was not good in this. I had to go back and relook at faces and try to determine if this first assassin, and yeah, that's not Psylocke, is it? And honestly, if I'm being honest, I'm going back and I'm saying, no, it's not Psylocke. But it sure seemed like Psylocke. And I just went back and looked at it again. And you know what? I could still say, you know what? That's Psylocke. That's not well written enough to where it's clear that it is her or isn't her. Because it looks too different to be her. But the way the story is told, it seems like it's her telling it. And then it jumps to, but it's written in purple. So I don't know what's going on. Not only that, but the body contortions and some of this stuff just don't seem. The word natural doesn't fit, because it's it's a comic book and people move in unnatural ways. But I think they don't feel lifelike. They feel very stiff. I'm not an artist, but I can tell that whoever did this, Kudranski, I think he must rely very heavily on 3D models, because they look very very static. I think the storytelling is still good here. However, when you walk away from this issue, it was basically a setup issue for issue number 3. You got some good backstory, fleshing out this. I assume it's a different character, and the relationship building between Laura, Cable, and Psylocke is good. Sinister is creepy in it again, which is good. So far, Bryan Hill's the only one doing Sinister right, in my opinion. This isn't a slam the book down and walk away mad issue. It's definitely a setup issue, so I'm ready to see what happens in 3. I really want to see what they can do here, the action with Cable, Laura, and Psylocke, and I hope issue 3 is really good, because I do enjoy Bryan Hill as a storyteller. I'm not enjoying Szymon Kudranski at this point on the art, honestly, but that's neither here nor there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a like, and of course comment below. When you read it, did you think that was Psylocke at the beginning of the book, or is that a different assassin that we're going to have to deal with later in the book. Let me know down in the comments below, guys, and as always, thank you for watching. Real Comic Stacks, out.